Hi there, Dr. T here. I'm going to do a quick Java tutorial on working with enumerations in Java. Enumerations are used when you have values that are not going to change in your program, so they're known as constants when this happens. We're going to create a quick little enumeration for a set of data for my company names that I might want to work with. So if I'm going to do enum to start the enumeration, and I'm going to do the name I want to call it, which will be company names. We're going to use the opening brace. Our editor creates our closing brace, and we're going to put our values in. We're going to use Amazon, we're going to use Google, and we're going to use Microsoft today. Those will be our three companies. So once we have an enumeration with our data loaded, we can access that data by setting up a variable. So we're going to say company names, and we're going to call my variable my company equals company names dot Google. Okay, that's going to give us access to our enumeration of data. Now we see that I have made a typo, and that's the nice thing about our IDE. We have a problem. It can't resolve this. So again, if you're just learning and you see yourself having problems with your coding, the main dilemma I find with new programmers is always the fact that we make typos. So the better your typing skills, or at least your proofreading skills, the better your coding will be. So I caught that by the red underline and made the correction. Now the yellow underline, that's just telling me I have not used that variable yet. So red, we normally have to double check what we've done, and then yellow is pretty much safe to continue on. So we have that company or my company established. I'm going to set up a second one here, and I'm going to do company names as well, and we'll call this variable my company 2, and this one will be equal to company names dot Microsoft. And I'm going to do this because we're going to work with both of these. Okay, now how do we work with our enumeration? Well, one thing we can do is check the position of our enumeration and see where it is um, in the list that we have. So if we do system dot out dot print line, and we just ask the position we're in, the index position of my company is, and what we can use to figure that out, let's see where it is in that group of companies that we have. We just take the name of our variable, my company, and we use this built-in function called Ordinal. Okay, and the Ordinal will give us the value of the position. So we can check that out here in a second. We'll do another thing with our company names in terms of, let's see if we can loop through every value that's in that enumeration as well. So let's loop through the value of the enumeration. So let's find out all the company names. So we can do for our for loop from prior tutorials. We're going to use for company names, and we'll call this all companies as far as our variable that's going to be controlled for accessing the data. All companies, and we're going to go company names dot values, and what this will do for us is allow us to access all the values as we loop through. And we're going to open up with our curly brace for our for loop, and here we're going to do system dot out dot print line. And what we'll do inside of that print line statement is we're just going to basically print out all companies as we go through. Okay, so that's going to access each value in our list. So let's just test out this code and see what working with this enumeration is like. What we'll end up doing here is we'll right click and we will run this Java application. And you see the index position of my company is 1. My company was set to Google. And if we look in our enumeration, it's right there. It's the second one. Just like arrays in Java, enumerations are 0 based. So Amazon is 0, Google is 1. And then accessing all of the items in that enumeration, we see them all printed out down below: Amazon, Google, Microsoft. And let's do one more thing in this little demonstration. We're going to compare if my company comes before my company 2 in the list. So we can compare positions of where things are placed in our enumeration. So how do we do that? We can do if my company dot compare to, and what we're going to do is compare it to my company 2. Okay, so if it's less than 0, that means it comes before. If it's greater than 0, it means it comes after. And if it's equal, then it comes in the same position. Okay, so what we're going to end up doing is another system.out.println, and here we'll say my company variable comes before, and what we'll do is some concatenation, my company 2 plus in the enumeration. So what we have here is an indicator that tells us it comes before, and what we'll do is put my company variable, and we'll actually access it here so we can see what's in it. So just a little string of text. Okay, so now our outline will read properly, and let's run this and see if it actually comes before it. And sure enough, my company variable Google comes before the my company 2 Microsoft in the enumeration. All right, so if we were to change the positions around, that would be false. That's how you work with it. So let's put some comments in our code to wrap this up. Check where an item is compared to another in the enumeration. Print out all values in the enumeration. Assign a value from enumeration to a variable. Okay, so those are ways that you can work with your enumeration in Java. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any comments, please put them below. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. You'll get updates on future tutorials. Thank you.